Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Dixon. I'm here with another video. Please stay till the end and you will enjoy it. There's this temptation with guys to think that most women or all women are against us, but this is not the case. Let's watch this video and you will see women who are actually on the side of men. Let's get into the video!
Call me biased because this happened to my husband, but hear me out. So an ad came up on his Facebook for a cell phone company that was giving donations to women's shelters. Listen closely to his comment. He said, "Wow, it's great to see good causes like this being supported by big companies. It would be great to see the men's shelters supported as well so that we can create an equal dialogue." Super positive, super fair, super non-dismissive, and frankly, he's right. He was promptly attacked by women telling him to go cry about it, go put on a dress and sleep in the street in the rain and see how it feels.
You can be for something and not be against something at the same time.
I don't think they realized who they were talking to or how much it hurt. He's been homeless. He was kicked out at 17 and he's been on his own ever since. He's a recovered drug addict who has spent many nights on the streets. And guess what? There was nowhere for him to go because women's shelters are everywhere, but you are hard-pressed to find one that will take a man, especially a 17-year-old boy. But he's coming from a place of full understanding of the needs for these resources, and he has every right to ask for equality in that. And he was met with absolutely no understanding in return. If this is the kind of equality women want, count me out.
So count her out, count me out also.
So I consider myself to be an anti-feminist because the modern day feminism movement attacks everything that it means to be a woman. They don't want to empower women for the things that make us different and special, like being able to give birth and raise kids. They don't even want to consider that a quality of a woman, but of a birthing person instead. Also, I don't hate all men. And I don't think that's cute, and I don't think it's funny, and I think the war on men is actually really disgusting.
So imagine people telling you the special things women can do. Those things are the ones that are oppressive and do not chase them. And they are now telling you to strive for things that both men and women can do. Now think about it. Your superpower is being ignored.
That being said, I don't think of myself as a victim. I don't think I'm oppressed because of my gender. I think I have the same rights as men. And if you have any ideas of what rights I don't have that men do, be sure to leave that in the comments.
Exactly. Women have every right that men have today. So if you think there are rights that women do not have, please leave them in the comments down below.
I'm pro-women, anti-feminist.
A man taking advantage of a woman when she's drunk is so wrong. Oh, I totally agree. And I mean, it's so wrong when women do it to men too. Taking advantage of a man when he's drunk, financial domination, trying to appeal to his porn addiction or sex addiction, to get a little extra cash. It's really sad.
Yep, when we take advantage of one another, then we are all evil. Whether we are men or women, men are evil. Women are evil. Mankind is evil. We just need to understand it.
By now, I'm pretty sure we've all seen the 97% of women will be sexually assaulted in their lifetime videos. Whether that statistic is true or not, we will disregard for the purpose of this video. Let's assume it's true. When men say not all men are, I don't think they're trying to disregard the issue that is clearly at hand. I think men just don't want to be classified as who are genuinely good men. Nor should we be classifying all men as or most men as or enough men as. We need to be standing with men against not against men because of. We're creating division right now. This is ridiculous.
So in other words, the person who is trying to defend you is the person that you are going to crucify. So don't do that. The same way you will not do that for people you consider to be on the marginalized people. So don't do that to men also. So classifying men as will discourage a man from even helping when he thinks he can help. Because when you generalize like that, then you are more or less saying you need to accept the fact that you also are, even though you have not done anything to warrant it.
We need to stand together, not tear ourselves apart.
Women who falsely accuse men of should be prosecuted to the full extent and receive the same sentence as
I agree. If you accuse a man of being a hair, then you yourself, if it comes out that you were lying, you need to take the whole punishment.
Have you ever watched a woman at a bar hit on a man and get turned down? You want to talk about not having self-control? Try a woman getting turned down. I've seen women become violent and angry and rude, all because a guy turns her down. You want to talk about not having self-control? You ever seen women grab up on men at the bar? The guy's uncomfortable and tells them to stop, and they keep going because it's flirtatious and cute when they're assaulting him. Flip the other side, and a man did that, people will be all over him and throwing him out.
Woo! If you've never seen a woman being rejected, you are a lucky person. It's not a sight to behold.
How women always preach that narrative that men hate women. Here's some statistics for you. I started this week off at about 17% women following my page. As of today, I'm at 13% of women are following my page out of that 14,000 number that you see on the top of my page. So the more that I speak on men and equal rights for men, less women followers I have.
You might be saying the truth, but I don't know the full context of your video, so I will just let that slide.
But yet, men hate women. Right.
Feminist women be like, women should be free to do whatever they want. Oh yeah? Well, what about women with conservative values? What about women who choose to stay at home and raise their own children and be homemakers instead of boss babes? What about women who don't want to be Miss Independent? I don't even know, man. What about...
There's this thing nowadays where people look at women who want to be traditional as the odd one. When you want to take care of your children, they will tell you, you are pausing your career, you don't want to progress, you don't want to do this. Why are you putting yourself under a man? Respect a woman's decision if she decides to be traditional. Don't go and impose your own things on her because you want a woman to have a voice. Now they are having their voice, but you don't want them to go to the direction that you hate. So, nature calls.
No! No! No!
Why are we still...
They want you to walk outside your house. That's the only type of work they want you to do.
pretending that women make less for the same job as men do because of misogyny. Now, yes, the national average is higher for men than versus women, but that's because men typically choose higher paying career paths, are more aggressive or more competitive when it comes to getting raises. And women, on average, tend to choose lower paying jobs or jobs that they enjoy more that tend to pay less. I know because I'm one of them. I want to be an editor. I'm never going to make as much as an engineer or a doctor or a lawyer.
So if you still believe in the gender pay gap, you are deceiving yourself. There are many factors that factor into it. There's never anything in this world where there is equality. When you have diversity in opinion, in lifestyle, in genetics, you definitely will not have men earning equal to what women are earning. Face it, men are more physical, men are more daring, we take more risks, we do stupid things. Who do you expect to earn more? Think about it.
Or even a plumber. And when it comes to working the same job, women just aren't as competitive. They also tend to work fewer hours, and they take a lot more time off for kids. That's going to lead to less experience and so less pay raises. Be more competitive, choose a higher paying job field. And for the love of all that is good, stop complaining.
Even in the same house, you don't have equality. So don't look for equality globally or nationally or in your company, because not everybody earns the same. And whenever there is a particular job that you earn a particular amount, they do not look at you and say, oh, she's a woman, I need to pay her less. No. It depends on how you negotiate. It depends on how many hours you put in. It depends on how many times you sacrifice for that job. And plus, women get pregnant. Men don't get pregnant. So you do the math yourself. There are many factors there.
I have no feminism left in my body.
When you find a good man, you become a real woman.
I think men are better than women.
She's kidding.
No, I'm not. They provide for us, and we must obey them because they are our masters.
Women
This one is just extreme content, so let's just move on from that one.
love to quote the false statistic that the reason we don't have birth control for men is because the men who were in the study couldn't handle the side effects. It's their way of trying to say why men are trash and women are superior and we bear the burden of birth control. Let's shed a little light on the actual truth of that birth control study. That study took place in 2016 amongst 375 healthy men. Yes, some men did drop out of the study because of the side effects, a whopping 20. We only focus on those 20 because it furthers our agenda. The real reason that particular birth control study didn't come to fruition is because it was halted by an independent safety review panel, because that particular injectable birth control was leaving men permanently infertile against their will, and in one case, a man died.
Wow. If that's the case, why would I get birth control? I don't get pregnant. I'll then go and give myself the option to permanently be sterile. So, men, in short, don't take any experimental drugs. If you don't want to have kids, don't have sex. And I do not recommend it. Just get a wife, get married, and move on. I don't condone promiscuous activities. So, go get married.
I did want to respond to this comment really quickly because liberal views are all about science. Let's believe in science. So if this holds true, then you have to agree with me that a man has an XY chromosome, whereas a woman has an XX chromosome. Therefore, our chemical makeup is actually going to be different from each other depending on our gender. And that science is not going to change because your feelings are hurt. Therefore, you are actually taking away equality of women and men by putting biological men back into women's sports because they have a physical advantage over women. You have to agree with me there, right?
There are only two genders. Gender is constructed from biology, sex. If you don't want to use that standard of sex, then gender means nothing.
When did the whole killing an innocent child because you can't take responsibility for your actions become a right? And I also don't support the movement Kill All Men. And I don't preach that porn is an uplifting resort for men. And I don't support the single motherhood rate that's shooting up because the government is teaching women that we just need welfare to be happy and have a family. And if you call yourself a modern day feminist and you say that you love all women, you need a reality check because you only love the women who have the exact same mindset as you. You're not pro-women and you're not pro-America. You're pro-stripping America from all of its traditional values and pushing modern day liberalism on everyone, which is the real pandemic.
Stay away from liberalism.
The other day I was at Target and I was looking for clothes for my son. I was in the toddler section and I saw two shirts side by side. One of them was pink and it said, "The future is female." And the one next to it was for boys and it said, "Goofy guy." And I just have to say, this idea that the future is female is such a load of crap. I don't know if you guys missed biology class, but in order for there to be any kind of future at all, there needs to be females and males. And I just hate this whole idea that we're teaching children, by the way, that it's a battle between men and women, who can make the most money, who can be more successful, who can run the world. It's not like that at all. The truth is, we work together. And that is how we build a successful future, and that's what we need to be teaching our children.
Societies where men are looked down upon and they do not consider them as human beings and more or less tell them that they are not the future, they end up dying. Look through history and you will see the same pattern being repeated. Whenever empires conquer a particular civilization and they want to dominate, what do? They don't kill their women. They kill their men. Because once they are men, there's hope for that particular civilization. So please consider this wisdom and do not treat men like cannon fodder. The future is both male and female, but the men lead it.
You know what's so sad is how many women, especially feminists, walk around and say, "Oh, men are so privileged. It must be so great to be a man. Yeah, it must be so great. Does nobody give a shit about your feelings? Nobody." And when you have a woman that steps up to try to speak for men's issues, oh man, society will just start to treat her the exact same way that they treat men. They'll start to make false allegations about her. They'll take down their social media. They'll silence her. Meanwhile, praising the toxic women that are doing harmful shit in society. And I think that this is frustrating for me. Men live this every single day. As a woman, I have somewhat of a right to complain. But men, as soon as they say, "Hey, this is bullshit," they're just bitching. They're soft. They have little dick energy, right? Nah, man, it must
suck to be a guy.
There's something about tattoos on women. If a woman has tattoos, I generally cannot focus on her anymore. I just focus on those tattoos. It's very distracting and it's very, very unappealing. Yeah, you can claim not to be a feminist, but then imbibe the characteristics of a feminist. And you want to be on the side of men, don't confuse my brain. If you are planning on getting tattoos like this woman, please don't. Please don't. Even if you've gotten it, try to hide it or get it somewhere that's not visible. It's not wonderful on women at all.
Guy, you know why? Because nobody fucking cares. Nobody cares about you if you're a guy. It's garbage.
Okay, that's the end of the video. Please like, share, and subscribe and help the channel out. Help us, please help us, help the channel. Bye-bye.